complaint to the GDC is probably one of the most alarming and distressing experiences of a dental professional's career. If you receive a notification from the GDC of a complaint against you, it can help to know what to expect. Before I start, I must point out that the procedure is undergoing review and may change considerably over the next 2 to 3 years. It's part of the General Dental Council's regulatory function to investigate complaints against dental professionals that relate to their professional conduct or performance, their physical or mental health, or where they've committed a criminal offence. The first most dental professionals hear of a complaint against them is when they get a letter from the GDC. It will ask you to provide certain key documents such as employment details, confirmation of indemnity cover, and disclosure of the most relevant clinical records. If you receive a letter like this from the GDC, it's important to get in touch with the DDU straight away and before submitting any information. We'll guide you through the process and provide you with support and advice throughout. Complaints relating to clinical practice go through a 3-stage process. When a complaint or concern is raised about a practitioner's clinical performance, the file is allocated to a caseworker who will seek access to the patient's clinical records. These may then be passed on to a clinical advisor from the National Clinical Assessment Service, who will examine the facts of the complaint and report to the caseworkers on the significance of the clinical aspects of the allegations. If there's found to be no case to answer, it will be closed, and the complainant may be referred to other organisations that can help them. A complaint that raises questions about fitness to practice will progress to the investigating committee stage. At this point, you'll be invited to make written observations on the case. The DDU will arrange legal support either from our in-house legal team or one of our external panel solicitors. We'll manage the case for you, help you with written observations, and, if the matter's referred on, we'll represent you at hearings. The investigating committee considers the allegations made by the complainant and takes into account written submissions from both you and the complainant. The committee will then decide whether there's a real prospect of proving impairment at a full public hearing. If that seems likely, then the matter will be referred to a practice committee, which examines the allegations in detail to determine whether the facts are proven, and in turn determines whether fitness to practice is impaired. There may be a long delay before this hearing takes place, and in the meantime you may be referred to an interim orders committee for possible conditions on your registration, or even temporary suspension from the register if this is thought necessary for patient safety or public protection. If it's unlikely that the GDC will be able to prove that your fitness to practice is currently impaired, the investigating committee can simply conclude the case by issuing a letter of advice or a warning, or it can decide to take no further action. Alternatively, it can adjourn to obtain further information or an expert report, or it can refer the case for NCAS assessment. There are 3 practice committees which consider, respectively, professional conduct, professional performance, and health. Of course, which one the case goes before depends on the nature of the allegations. A fitness to practice hearing is held in public, except for health cases which are held in private. Witnesses are called to give evidence. These may be people directly involved in the facts of the case and expert witnesses who should be entirely impartial and report only on the clinical facts. When the DDU is defending a member, usually both a solicitor and a barrister will be instructed to represent you, and we may seek the opinion of one or more dental experts. Their reports are entirely independent and provide additional insight into the clinical aspects of the case. It's important that you reflect on the matters that led to the complaint and that you can show evidence of insight into the event. The DDU team can help you with this. A fitness to practice hearing can be a very daunting experience for any dental professional. As the hearing's generally in public, members of the complainant's family or friends may attend, as may the press. Please rest assured that you'll be fully supported at all times throughout the process, and the DDU has a dedicated press office to help with any press attention. If the practice committee finds the dental professional's fitness to practice is impaired, it will almost certainly impose sanctions. The nature of the sanction depends on the nature of the impairment, and so, for example, if your health is impaired, you may be required to undergo appropriate medical treatment and monitoring. Where poor performance is the issue, you may have to retrain or to attend specific professional development courses to address any areas of shortcoming. All three practice committees can issue a reprimand, impose conditions on a registrant's practice, suspend a registrant from the register, and with the exception of the health committee, erase a registrant from the register. Conditions on practice can be imposed for up to 3 years. Suspension starts 28 days from the hearing and lasts for a maximum of 12 months. However, the suspension can be immediate where patient safety is thought to be at risk. The GDC generally reserves its toughest sanctions for misconduct cases, and the most draconian sanction is erasure from the dentist's register. Please remember, if you receive notification of a complaint against you to the GDC, you should call the DDU as soon as possible.